Hey, welcome back to Me Being Cheap. That little video that you just saw was my luck this weekend. Yes, I had to have my truck towed. So the question today is it time to purchase a newer vehicle? Notice I did not say new. So if you subscribe to the Dave Ramsey plan, you know that when it's time to buy a vehicle, you want to shop for one that's low mileage and 2 to 3 years old. So a used vehicle, a newer used vehicle. So is it time to finally bite the bullet and buy something else? I'm a math nerd, so I have come to this decision by way of math. Okay, so let's take a look at this and make sure that's showing up. Okay, so I have some numbers listed here. My truck, it is a 1997 Ford F-150 that was bought in the year of 2005 for a purchase price of $8,995. My Suburban is a 2002 that was purchased in 2014. Yes, 2014 for a purchase price of $5,300. I have listed the Kelley Blue Book value, and that is if the vehicles are running and they don't need a repair. Kelley Blue Book values the pickup truck between $1,843 and $3,284. I think that is rather generous, even though I did type in the information about my truck and its current condition, but assuming it's running. So I'm going to use the number 1,500. I think that's a little bit more realistic given the age and the condition of that pickup truck. So Kelley Blue Book says that the Suburban is worth between $2,906 or $5,127. And so I think I could probably get $3,000, which is just slightly above the low end. So that's what we're looking at if they were running, if they had their issues fixed. So think about that, and I've got some numbers here. Okay, so just out of curiosity, since I've had the truck for so long, I decided, well, I wonder how much that works out to a month for the total amount of time I have actually owned that truck. So I took the $8,995 and I divided that by 13 years, and then I divided that by 12 months in the year, and that came out to $57 a month. So even if the truck is trashed, I think I probably got my money worth out of that one as well. Now, if the truck were to sell for $1,500, then that number drops down to $4,800 because I would have recouped some of that money back, the $1,500. The Suburban, if I take $5,300, divide that by 5 years, and then divide that by 12 months, that works out to $88 a month for the Suburban. But if I were to sell it for $3,000, that number drops down to $38 a month. So the Suburban's not as old, and it seems to have held its value. I think the truck probably held its value too. It's just the truck is so much older. Okay, so the reality is the truck has left me on the side of the road 3 times. Once at the takeout place for the kayaks, so it was like 8 miles south of town. One weekend it was another kayaking trip. It left me north of town. And then I was running errands this weekend and driving the truck, and it left me over in the neighboring town. Now, I do have AAA, so that's well worth it, I think, my opinion. Not only for the peace of mind of being a single female and always have somebody you can count on to come and bail you out of a situation, but also the hotel discounts and stuff. If you travel a lot, it makes it worth it. So the towing was covered with my AAA discount. Now, I had just done about $460 worth of work on the truck, and that was new spark plugs. I didn't really think I could get to those spark plugs very easily, so I elected to have somebody else do it. Spark plugs, plug wires, fuel filter, air filter, belt, and I had a little bit of work done on one of the pulleys. It had a little notch in it, and that notch was causing the belt to fray. So I had all that done. It was about $460. That's not really catastrophic work. That's just basic maintenance that just needed to be done, and the truck ran really nicely after that. What prompted that is I started having a misfire on the second cylinder, so I figured it was probably the spark plugs, as they hadn't been done, and I knew I wasn't going to do them myself given the location deep down in the engine compartment. So that was $460. But before that, I actually had a dead battery. It wouldn't start, and that battery was new, and so that was actually covered under warranty. I didn't have to pay for that battery again. But then also the alternator was bad, so that was an additional fee. And then also the air conditioner was not working, but I was able to buy a part from O'Reilly's for about $23, and my son and I did a little bit of work replacing that part, and then we filled it with refrigerant. So $23 plus the cost of a couple cans of refrigerant. So it has left me on the side of the road 3 times. I have had to do some work to it recently. That work has been cash flowed. Okay. Now, I am thinking that what happened is that there's something going on with the fuel pump, because when I would turn the key forward, I couldn't hear it engage, and I could not really think of any other reason, given the work that had just been done on it, knowing, you know, it had a good strong start. It just would not fire up. It wouldn't turn on. Okay, so if it is a fuel pump, I will know when the shop gets back with me what it is. But I went and Googled how much that cost, and it's kind of a wide variation. So we've got anywhere from $178 to $646. So big variety. Maybe if I'm lucky, it's just some sort of relay or a fuse or something. All right. The Suburban has got a pretty major oil leak on it, and if you've been watching my channel very long, you know that I had that oil leak fixed not too long ago, and it was only about $100. That came with a warranty where they said that if it started, you know, if that area leaked again, they would replace it. Well, I took it back up there, and they said no, actually now it's your oil pan that's leaking, your oil pan gasket, and they wanted $600, and I thought that sounded a little high, so I was like, nah, I'll just continue to add oil to it. Well, recently it's really started leaking a lot, so instead of like 1 or 2 drips when I park somewhere and run in, I come out and it's, you know, a nice puddle. So I'm having to add more oil to it, and I just don't want to be going somewhere and like the whole thing just blows out and I just lose all the oil at once, because that would be bad. So I did Google the cost of that repair, and the estimate is $394 to $442. So at least the variety, the range on that one, it's pretty tight. We're looking probably between $400 to $450. Either way, I can cash flow one or both of those repairs. So if we're talking $450 for the oil pan gasket, and let's just shoot in the middle and say $350 on the fuel pump, I could cash flow those. Okay. But let's take a look at what a replacement vehicle equivalent to what I'm driving now would cost. So for a 2015 F-150, and I'm not sold on an F-150, I'm also not sold on a Suburban. I'm just doing this for comparison purposes. I will probably actually go with something else. A 2015 F-150 in very good condition is $23,159 to $25,980, and then in good condition $22,386 to $25,253. Let's just make this easy and call it $22,000. That's on the low end of the good. Okay, and that was the F-150. For a 2015 Suburban, very good is $30,831 to $33,588, or for good condition, that would be $29,629 to $32,476. Let's just make this easy and say good condition, $29,000. Okay, so we're looking at either $22,000 for a pickup or $29,000 for a Suburban. So if you add those two together, that's a lot, and there's no way I could do that at this point. But those are the numbers we're looking at. So, is it time to buy a new vehicle? Let's just say that I cash flowed those repairs, and I was able to sell that pickup for $1,500, and I was able to sell the Suburban for $3,000. That would give me $4,500. $4,500 is still going to buy me something old and something with a lot of miles. And I already have 2 something olds and 2 with a lot of miles. I really don't need another lawn ornament to add to my collection. So, let's say that I took that $4,500 and took out about a third of my emergency fund, which would be $5,000, and put that together. That would give me $9,500. That would still get me a little bit better vehicle than $4,500. However, the vehicle that I'm looking for, I do pull a trailer every 2 weeks. I do regularly haul kayaks, multiple kayaks, bikes, and skis. Given my location out here in the Midwest, and sometimes we can have some gnarly winters, and then if I travel to Colorado to go skiing, it would be nice to also have the 4-wheel drive option. That has come in handy. I have that right now with my Suburban. Also, my son is driving now. He's already quite tall, and he is not finished growing, so I suspect he's probably going to be a large person, so a compact car may not be very comfortable. And I don't think a small car would meet my needs of pulling a trailer, hauling kayaks, hauling skis, bikes, or what have you. Okay, so not sure what I can get with $9,500. Probably would not be any better than what I have now. And when we bought that truck 13 years ago, it was low mileage. When I bought that Suburban 5 years ago, it was higher mileage, but it had all the complete service records. It was taken care of. And since I have owned both of these vehicles, they have been maintained. I know the history of them. So I think in this situation, in order to even be able to sell these, unless I sold it for at least the truck for scrap, which would maybe be about $500, I think I'm going to have to cash flow those repairs and keep driving the vehicles. And here's why. Again, I know the history. With $9,500, I'm not going to get a vehicle that meets the needs that I have. Or I might, but it's probably going to be old and high mileage, which I've already got. The other thing is, currently I am paying $1,500 extra dollars on average extra on my mortgage. My balance on my mortgage is right at about $9,000. So I can say I probably have roughly, if I didn't pay extra on my mortgage, roughly 9 more months to pay that mortgage off. If I stopped paying that $1,500 a month for 9 months and then just kind of let the mortgage pay on itself normally, you know, with the normal payment that gets made, not pay the extra, but save that $1,500 a month times 9 months, that's going to give me $13,500. And then if I took $5,000 out of my emergency fund and then added $4,500 if I was to sell the Suburban and the pickup, that would give me $23,000, which would be a far nicer vehicle that would meet my needs. Remember, the truck was the cheaper of the two, and we said at the bottom of the range it would be about $22,000. So if I do it this way, I'll have $23,000 and a paid off house. So the deal is I won't pay off the house as quick as I would like to, but I'll be in a better position to have a vehicle that I want to drive, that's newer, lower miles, and meets the needs of what I need the vehicle to do. So I think that's probably what I'm looking at doing. So I am going to have a little delay on paying off that mortgage, which I know the goal of starting this channel was to, you know, pay the mortgage off in 3.5 years. I think I'll still beat that. I think I was on target to have it paid off in 2.5. But, you know, life happens and vehicles don't last forever, and I'm certainly not going to go out and take out a car note, you know, a 5-year car note. That's crazy. I don't do that anymore. So I think this is probably the best option. I will just stop paying extra on the mortgage. I'll hold that money, let the mortgage kind of pay itself off in due time. Be 9 months down the road, paid off house and a newer car. Works for me. All right. If you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button down below. Feel free to like the video or leave a comment. All right, thanks for watching.